Hello everyone, welcome back in Rai Smart Classes. As a part of MCQs Marathon series, today we will discuss Class 10 Science, Chapter 3, Metals and Non-Metals. These MCQs are very important for cbse board exams and other exams. Now let us start the question. Which of the following oxides of iron would be obtained on the prolonged reaction of iron with steel? Option A FeO, option B Fe2O3, option C Fe3O4, option D Fe2O3 and Fe3O4. आयरन का कौन सा ऑक्साइड है जो लंबे टाइम पर स्टीम के साथ हीट करते हैं तो स्टीम क्या निकलता है? तो करेक्ट आंसर ऑप्शन सी Fe3O4. Next question. Aluminium is used for making cooking utensils. Which of the following properties of aluminum are responsible for the same? Option 1 good thermal conductivity, option 2 good electrical conductivity, option 3 ductility, option 4 high melting point. क्या दिया ये 1 and 2, B 1 and 3rd, C 2nd and 4th, 3rd and D 1 and 4th. When aluminum is used for making cooking utensils, which properties of aluminum are responsible for the same? So, first, good thermal conductivity and high melting point. That means कि option D is correct. 1 and 4. Good thermal conductivity and high melting point, that are the properties of aluminum, are responsible for the making of cooking utensils. Aluminum used. Which of the following is a non-metal? Option A sodium, option B chlorine, option C aluminum, option D copper. Correct answer is option B, chlorine is a non-metal. Which of the following is a metal? Option A carbon, option B oxygen, option C gold, option D hydrogen. Correct answer is option C gold. Gold is a metal. Which of the given properties is generally not shown by metals? Option A electrical conduction, option B sonorous in nature, option C dullness, option D ductility. Correct answer is option C, dullness is the property generally not shown by the metals. Generally, non-metals are not conductor of electricity. Which of the following is a good conductor of electricity? Option A diamond, option B graphite, option C sulfur, option D fluorine. Correct answer is option B, graphite are the non-metal that is a good conductor of electricity. The most abundant metal in the earth crust is option A iron, option B aluminium, option C calcium, option D sodium. Correct answer is aluminium. Aluminium is the most abundant metal in earth crust. The ability of metals to be drawn into thin wires is known as option A ductility, option B, malleability, option C, sonoricity, option D, conductivity. Correct answer is option A. Ductility is the property that the metal is able to run in a thin air. Next question. What happens when calcium is treated with water? Option 1. It does not react with water. Option 2. It reacts violently with water. Option 3. It reacts less violently with water. And option 4. Bubbles of hydrogen gas formed stick to the surface of calcium. Choose the correct answer. A 1 and 4, B second and third, C 1 and 2, D third and fourth. When calcium is treated with water, what happens? It reacts less violently with water, and bubbles of hydrogen gas formed stick to the surface of calcium. That means the option D, third and fourth are correct. In which of the following statement is incorrect? Option A. The most abundant non-metal in the earth crust is oxygen. Option B. The most abundant metal in the earth crust is aluminum. Option C. Oxygen is non-metal which forms positively charged oxide ions O2 plus by gaining electrons. And option D. Carbon is one of the most important non-metals because all the life on this earth is based on carbon compounds. Out of 4, which are incorrect? Option C is incorrect. That means the correct option is option C. Oxygen is a non-metal which forms positively charged oxide ions O2 plus by gaining electrons. That means the other 3, A, B and D are correct statement, whereas option C is incorrect statement. Next question. Aluminium is used for making cooking utensils. Which of the following properties of aluminium are responsible for the same? ये हमने क्वेश्चन रिपीट हो गया है, पीछे भी ये क्वेश्चन हमने किया हुआ है. ऑप्शन क्या है? ऑप्शन 1 गुड थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी, ऑप्शन 2 गुड इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी, ऑप्शन 3 डक्टिलिटी एंड ऑप्शन 4 हाई मेल्टिंग. अल्युमिनियम कुकिंग यूटेंसिल्स बनाने के लिए क्यों जरूरी है? बिकॉज अल्युमिनियम है good thermal conductivity and high melting point that responsible for making cooking utensils. Next question. Non-metals generally form fill in the blanks ions when they react chemically. Option A positive, option B negative, option C neutral, and option D complex. Correct answer is negative. Non-metals generally form negative ions when they react chemically. Which of the following metal is the least reactive? Option A sodium, option B zinc, option C copper, option D gold. Out of the 4, gold is less reactive metal. That means the correct option is option D gold. The poorest conductor of heat among metal is option A lead, option B mercury, option C calcium, option D sodium. The poorest conductor of heat among metal is option A, lead. A non-metal used to preserve food material is option A, carbon, option B, phosphorus, option C, sulfur, option D, nitrogen. Correct answer is option D, nitrogen. A non-metal used to preserve food material is nitrogen. Nitrogen is used to preserve food material, which is non-metal. Which one of the following metals does not react with cold as well as hot water? Option A, Na, sodium. Option B, Ca, calcium. Option C, Mg, magnesium. And option D, Fe, iron. Out of four, iron is a metal does not react with cold as well as hot water. जनरली आयरन कोल्ड और हॉट वाटर से रिएक्ट नहीं करता. इससे रस्टिंग कब लगती है? जब मॉइस्चर इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ एयर जब कांटेक्ट होता है तो आयरन में जंग लगता है, जिसको हम रस्टिंग बोलते हैं. Which of the following is a physical property of metals? Option A, brittle. Option B, poor conductor of heat and electricity. Option C, malleable. Option D, non-lustrous. Correct answer is option C, malleable is a physical property of metals. The arrangement for copper, tin, lead, and mercury according to the reactivity series is option A, tin greater than lead, greater than copper, greater than mercury. Option B, lead greater than copper, greater than mercury, greater than tin. Option C, copper greater than mercury, greater than tin, greater than lead. Option D, mercury greater than tin, greater than lead, and greater than copper. Out of the four, copper, tin, lead, and mercury, the reactivity series is option A is correct. Tin greater than lead, greater than copper, greater than mercury. Next question. Reaction between X and Y forms compound Z. X loses electron and Y gains electron. Which of the following property is not shown by Z? Option A has high melting point. Option B has low melting point. Option C conducts electricity in molten state. Option D occurs as solid. Correct answer is option B has low melting point. Compound A Z is not showing the property. That means कि low melting point शो नहीं करता. Doesn't show by compound Z. Generally, metals react with acids to give salt and hydrogen gas. Which of the given acid does not give hydrogen gas on reacting with metals except manganese and magnesium? Option A H2SO4 sulfuric acid. Option B HCl hydrochloric acid. Option C HNO3 nitric acid. Option D all of these. Correct answer is option C HNO3. HNO3 does not give hydrogen gas on reacting with metals except manganese and magnesium. Which metal is added to iron to produce stainless steel? Option A zinc, option B copper, option C nickel, option D aluminium. Correct answer is option C. Nickel is added to iron to produce stainless steel. निकल क्रोमियम कार्बन मिलके आयरन में, जिससे कि हम स्टेनलेस स्टील की जो बर्तन यूज करते हैं, जिससे उस पर जंग नहीं लगता है, रस्ट नहीं पकड़ता है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, द कंपोजिशन ऑफ एक्वा रिगिया इज ऑप्शन ए dilute HCl is to conc HNO3 3:1. Option B conc HCl is to dilute HNO3 3:1. Option C conc HCl is to conc HNO3 3:1 ratio. Option D dilute HCl is to dilute HNO3 3:1 ratio. So the composition of aqua regia is conc HCl is to conc HN3, which ratio? 3:1 ratio. That means कि option C is correct. Which of the following is a chemical property of metals? A, high electronegativity, the ability to form negative ions. Option C reactivity with water. Option D brittle nature. Correct answer is option C. Reactivity with water is a chemical property of metals. The metals that float when treated with water are option A manganese and sodium, option B sodium and calcium, option C magnesium and sodium, option D magnesium and calcium. Correct answer is option D. Magnesium and calcium when treated with water that are float. Magnesium and calcium are metal that float when treated with water. Next question. Choose the statement which is correct, incorrect. Option A. Iodine is non-metal which is lustrous, having a shining surface. Option B. Diamond is a non-metal which has a very high melting point and boiling point. Option C. Diamond and graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Option D. Alkali metals like lithium, sodium, and potassium are soft, just like solid nonmetals. Out of what? Which is incorrect? Option C. Diamond and graphite is a good conductor of electricity. This is a correct option. That means कि this statement is incorrect. In general, the number of electrons in the outermost shell of a metal atom is option A 1, option B 1 to 3, option C 5 to 8, and option D 8. Number of electrons in the outermost shell of metal atom is option B 1 to 3. Generally 1 to 3 atom present in the outermost shell of metal. In general, the number of electrons 1 to 3. Option B is correct. Which of the following pairs of reactants can undergo a displacement reaction under appropriate conditions? Option A copper sulfate plus iron CuSO4 plus F. Option B ZnSO4 zinc sulfate plus iron. Option C, MgSO4 magnesium sulfate plus iron. Option D, calcium sulfate CaSO4 whole twice plus Fe. Which pair of reactant can undergo displacement reaction? Correct answer is option A, copper sulfate CaSO plus Fe can undergo displacement reaction under appropriate condition. Next question. Al2O3 balance the equation, right? Which is fill in the blank. Al2O3 plus 2NaOH that gives fill in the blanks plus H2O. Aluminum oxide plus sodium hydroxide that gives fill in the blank plus water. ऑप्शन क्या है? ऑप्शन ए Al2OH whole thrice, aluminum hydroxide, Na2O, sodium oxide, NaL2, sodium aluminate, AlNO2. So when aluminum oxide plus 2NaOH that gives NaL2 sodium aluminate plus H2O. That means the option C NaL2 is a correct answer. What is the process of converting an oxide of metal to the metal itself using heat alone? Option A reduction, option B oxidation, option C sublimation, option D condensation. Correct answer is option A. Reduction is the process of converting an oxide of metal to the metal itself using heat alone. Which of the following are not ionic compounds? Option 1 KCl potassium chloride, option 2 HCl hydrogen chloride hydrochloric acid, option 3 CCl4 carbon tetrachloride, option 4 NaCl sodium chloride. Which option are not ionic compound? Option A 1 and 2, option B second and third, option C third and fourth, option D 1 and third. Correct answer is option B second and third. That means ki HCl and CCl4 are not ionic compound. Which of the following is not a property of nonmetals? Option A good conductor of heat and electricity, option B brittle, option C non-lustrous, option D poor conductor of heat and electricity. Option A good conductor of heat and electricity is not a property of nonmetals. Option A is correct. Next question. When hydrochloric acid is added to barium hydroxide, a white colored compound is formed. Which of the following option gives the complete chemical reaction? Option A HCl plus BaOH whole twice that gives BaCl2 plus 2H2O. Option B 2HCl plus BaOH whole twice that gives BaCl2 plus 2H2O. Option C 2HCl plus BaOH whole twice that gives BaH2 plus 2HCl plus 1. And option D HCl plus 2BaOH whole twice that gives 2BaCl2 plus 2H2O plus 1. When hydrochloric acid is added to barium hydroxide, a white color compound is formed. That means ki correct answer is option B 2HCl plus 2BaOH whole twice that reacts and gives BaCl2 a white color compound plus 2H2. That is the correct answer. Option B is correct. Which of the following metals are obtained by electrolysis of their chlorides in molten state? Option A, sodium and copper. Option B, iron and copper. Option C, sodium and iron. Option D, sodium and calcium. Correct answer is option D. Sodium and calcium are obtained by electrolysis of their chlorides in molten state. Which of the following metals exists in its native state in nature? Option 1 copper, option 2 gold, option 3 zinc, option 4 silver. Answer का 1 and 2, option B, second and third, option C, second and fourth, option D, third and fourth. Correct answer is option C, second and fourth. Gold and silver metal exist in its native state in nature. Next question. An alloy of zinc and copper is dissolved in dilute HCl. Hydrogen gas is evolved. In this evolution of gas, option क्या है? Only zinc react with dilute HCl. Option B, only copper react with dilute HCl. Option C, both zinc and copper react with dilute HCl. And option D, only copper react with water. Correct answer is option A, only zinc react with dilute HCl. That means कि an alloy of zinc and copper dissolve in dilute HCl. Only zinc react with dilute HCl. Hydrogen gas is evolved. That means कि correct answer is only zinc react with dilute HCl, hydrochloric acid. Next question. Which of the following is the correct arrangement of the given metals in ascending or order of their reactivity? Zinc, iron, magnesium, sodium. Options क्या है? Option A, zinc greater than iron, greater than magnesium, greater than sodium. Option B, sodium greater than magnesium, greater than iron, greater than zinc. Option C, sodium greater than zinc, greater than magnesium, greater than iron. Option D, sodium greater than magnesium, greater than zinc, greater than iron. So the ascending order of these metals are sodium greater than magnesium, greater than zinc, greater than iron. That means कि option D is the correct in the ascending order of their reactivity. Which of the given metals cannot be extracted using a smelting? Option A iron, option B aluminium, option C zinc, option D lead. Correct answer is option D. Lead cannot be extracted using smelting. Which property of metals is used for making bells and string of musical instruments like sitar and violin? Option A sonorousness, option B malleability, option C ductility, option D conductivity. Correct answer is option A sonorousness. Sonorousness is used, that is the property of metal which is used for making bell and strings of musical instruments like sitar and violin. That means the correct answer is option A sonorousness. Which one of the following properties is not generally exhibited by ionic compounds? Option A, solubility in water. Option B, electrical conductivity in solid state. Option C, high melting and boiling points. Option D, electrical conductivity in a molten state. So which properties is not generally exhibited by ionic compound? Correct answer is option B, electrical conductivity in solid state. That property is generally not exhibited by ionic compounds. Next question. An alloy is option A an element, option B a compound, option C a homogeneous mixture, option D a heterogeneous mixture. Correct answer is option C. An alloy is a homogeneous mixture. What happens when a pellet of sodium is dropped in water? Option A. It catches fire and forms oxide. Option B. It absorbs heat and forms oxide. Option C. It catches fire and forms hydroxide. Option D. It absorbs heat and forms hydroxide. What happens when pellet of sodium is dropped in water? It catches fires and forms hydroxide. That means the option C is correct. Metals are refined by using different methods. Which of the following metals are refined by electrolytic refining? Option A, gold and copper. Option B, gold and sodium. Option C, copper and sodium. Option D, sodium and potassium. Correct answer is option A. Gold and copper are refined by electrolytic refining. Silver particles become black on prolonged exposure to air. This is due to formation of option A Ag2O, option B Ag2S, option C AgCN, option D Ag2O and Ag2S. Why silver particles become black on prolonged exposure to air? This is due to the formation of silver sulfide. Ag2S is option B is correct. During smelting, an additional substance is added which combines with impurities to form a fusible product known as option A slag, option B mud, option C gangue, option D flux. Correct answer is option A slag. During smelting, an additional substance which is called slag is added which combines with impurities to form a fusible product. That means the slag is added as an additional substance during smelting. The chief ore of aluminium is option A bauxite, option B gravelite, option C alunite, option D feldspar. Correct answer is option A. Bauxite is the chief ore of aluminium. Which of the following pairs will give displacement reaction? Option A FeSO4 solution and copper metal. Option B AgNO3 solution and copper metal. Option C copper sulfate CuSO4 solution and silver metal. And option D NaCl solution and copper metal. Which reaction gives displacement reactor? Correct answer is option B. Silver nitrate, AgNO3 solution and copper metal give displacement reaction. Next question. Non-metals form covalent chlorides because option A, they can give electrons to chlorine. Option B, they can share electrons with chlorine. Option C, they can give electrons to chlorine atom to form chloride ions. Option D, they cannot share electrons with chlorine atoms. Correct answer is option B. Non-metals form covalent chlorides because they can share electron with chlorine. Galvanization is a method of protecting iron from rusting by coating it with a thin layer of option A gallium, option B aluminum, option C zinc, option D silver. Correct answer is option C zinc. Put thin layer of zinc. Galvanization is a method of protecting iron from rusting by coating it with a thin layer of zinc. A stainless steel is a very useful material for our life. In a stainless steel, iron mixed with option A nickel and chromium, option B copper and chromium, option C nickel and copper, option D copper and gold. Correct answer is stainless steel is a mixture with iron, nickel and chromium. Option A is correct. Which of the following non-metals is used as disinfectant? Option A chlorine, option B nitrogen, option C oxygen, option D sulfur. Correct answer is option A. Chlorine is a non-metal which is used as disinfectant. Which of the following is an example of metalloid? Option A sodium, option B silicon, option C copper, option D silver. Correct answer is option B. Silicon is an example of metalloid. Which of the following options give the process of extraction of mercury from its ore cinnabar? Option A. Cooling cinnabar in the presence of excess air. Option B. Cooling cinnabar to convert it into mercuric oxide and then heating it. Option C. Cinnabar to convert it into mercuric oxide and then heating it again. Option D. Cinnabar in the presence of limited air and then adding a small amount of water. So the process of extraction of mercury from its ore cinnabar, which is correct? Option C. Cinnabar to convert it into mercuric oxide and then heating it again. That is the correct answer. Which option complete the reaction? MgO, magnesium oxide plus HNO3, nitric acid, that gives option A MgO plus HNO3, that gives Mg3N2 plus 4H2O. Option B MgO plus HNO3, that gives Mg plus NO2 plus O2. Option C MgO plus HNO3, that gives MgOH whole twice plus 2NO2. Option D MgO plus HNO3, that gives MgNO3 whole twice plus H2O. So correct reaction is option D. MgO, magnesium oxide plus nitric acid, HNO3, that gives magnesium nitrate MgNO3 whole twice plus 2H2O plus H2O. That is the complete reaction. Option D is correct. Consider the given statements and choose the incorrect one. Option A. Hydrogen is an inert gaseous nonmetal whose presence in air reduces the rate of combustion and make it safe. Option B. Non-metal sulfur is present in many of the substances found in plants and animals. Option C. Carbon compounds found like proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins and enzymes, etc. Option D. Non-metals are the elements that do not conduct heat and electricity and are neither malleable nor ductile. Out of the four options, which is incorrect? That means the incorrect statement is option A. Hydrogen is an inert gaseous nonmetal whose presence in air reduces the rate of combustion and makes it safe. This statement is incorrect statement. Next question. Consider the following statement and choose the incorrect one. Option A. Pure gold known as 22 karat gold is very soft. Option B. If one of the metals is mercury, then the alloy is known as amalgam. Option C. Solder an alloy of lead and tin, Pb and Sm has a low melting point and is used for welding electrical wires together. Option D. Brass an alloy of copper and zinc and bronze and alloy of copper and tin are not good conductor of electricity. Out of the four statements, which of the statement is incorrect? Option A is the incorrect statement. That is, pure gold known as 22 karat gold is very soft. Pure gold is 24 karat gold and is very soft. That means कि option A is an incorrect statement. A greenish coating develops on copper utensils due to the formation of option A CuCO3 copper carbonate, option B CuOH twice copper hydroxide, option C a mixture of copper hydroxide CuOH twice into CuCO3 copper carbonate, and option D copper oxide CuO. Why a greenish coating develops on copper utensils? Correct answer is due to the formation of a mixture of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. That means the option C is correct. CuOH whole twice into CuCO3. Although metals form basic oxides, which of the given metals form an amphoteric oxide? Option A sodium, option B calcium, option C aluminium, option D copper. Correct answer is option C aluminium form an amphoteric oxide. Next question. The electronic configuration of three elements X, Y, and Z are as follows. X is 24, Y equal to 27, and Z equal to 21. Which two elements will combine to form an ionic compound and write the correct formula? Option A X2Y, Option B, ZY. Option C, XZ3. And option D, Y2Z. Which of two elements will combine to form ionic compound? Correct answer is option B, ZY. Electron configuration Z का Z21. 21 मीन्स की 3 किसका होता है? लिथियम. और Y 2 plus 7 9. That means की फ्लोरीन, लिथियम फ्लोराइड. Which of the following non-metal is lustrous? Option A sulfur, option B oxygen, option C nitrogen, option D iodine. Correct answer is option D. Iodine is a non-metal which is lustrous. The example of an amphoteric oxide is option A Na2O, option B K2O, option C Al2O3, option D MgO. Correct answer is example of amphoteric oxide Al2O3, aluminum oxide. Option C is correct. The process in which a carbonate ore is heated strongly in the absence of air to convert it into metal oxide is called option A roasting, option B reduction, option C calcination, option D smelting. Correct answer is option C calcination. The process in which a carbonate ore is heated strongly in the absence of air to convert it into metal oxide is called calcination. Oxides of moderately reactive metals like zinc, iron, nickel, tin, copper are reduced by using option A aluminum as reducing agent, option B sodium as reducing agent, option C carbon as reducing agent, option D calcium as reducing agent. Oxides of moderately reactive metals are reduced by using carbon as a reducing agent. Option C is correct. Next question. In thermite welding, a mixture of fill in the blanks and is ignited with a burning magnesium ribbon which produced molten iron metal as large amount of heat is evolved. Option iron Option A iron third oxide and aluminum powder. Option B iron 2 oxide and aluminum powder. Option C iron third chloride and aluminum powder. Option D iron third sulfate and aluminum powder. Correct answer is option A iron third oxide and aluminum powder. In thermite welding, a mixture of iron third oxide and aluminum powder is ignited with a burning magnesium ribbon which produced molten iron metal as a large amount of heat is evolved. Read carefully and choose the statement which is incorrect. Option A. The major non-metals in the earth crust in the decreasing order of their abundance are nitrogen, oxygen, silicon, phosphorus, and sulfur. Option B. Two non-metals, hydrogen and oxygen, are the main constituent of oceans in the form of water. Option C. Non-metals, oxygen and nitrogen, are the main constituent of air. Option D. The most abundant metal in the earth crust is aluminum, which constitute about 7% of the earth crust. Out of the four statements, which statement is incorrect? Option A is incorrect statement. The major non-metals in the earth crust in the decreasing order of their abundance are nitrogen, oxygen, silicon, phosphorus, and sulfur. That statement is incorrect. Generally, metals are solid in nature. Which one of the following metal is found in liquid state at room temperature? Option A sodium, option B iron, option C chromium, option D mercury. Mercury. Correct answer is option D. Mercury is found in liquid state at room temperature. Which one of the following four metals would be displaced from the solution of its salts by the other three metals? Option A magnesium, option B silver, option C zinc, option D copper. Correct answer is option B silver. Out of the four metals, silver would be displaced from the solution of its salts by the other three metals. Next question. An electrolytic cell consists of option 1 positively charged cathode, option 2 negatively charged anode, option 3 positively charged anode, and option 4 negatively charged cathode. Out of the four options, which is correct? Option A 1 and 2, option B 3rd and 4th, option C 1 and 3rd, and option D 2nd and 4th. An electrolytic cell consists of a positively charged anode and a negatively charged cathode. That means कि option B, 2nd and 3rd are correct. An element A is soft and can be cut with a knife. This is very reactive to air and cannot be kept open in the air. It reacts vigorously with water. Identify the element from the following. Option A magnesium, option B sodium, option C potassium, option C phosphorus, and option D calcium. E. Correct answer is sodium. Sodium is a soft and can be cut with knife. This is a very reactive to air and cannot be kept open in the air. Sodium is kept in kerosene oil. When exposed to air, react and burn higher. It reacts vigorously with water to form sodium hydroxide solution. NaOH. Which among the following alloys contains mercury as one of its constituents? Stainless steel, option B alnico, option C solder, option D zinc amalgam. Correct answer is option D zinc amalgam. Alloy contain mercury as one of its constituents. Which of the following nonmetals is a liquid at room temperature? Option A bromine, option A carbon, option B bromine, option C phosphorus, and option D sulfur. Correct answer is option B. Bromine is a liquid at room temperature. तो आज हम मेटल एंड नॉन मेटल समाप्त करते हैं और उम्मीद करते हैं कि आप लोग समझे होंगे। जितना रिवाइज करेंगे उतनी अच्छी तरीके से आपको याद होगा। और हम ये बार बार करते हैं, हम तो रीडिंग डालते हैं और बताते हैं, अगर आप इसको अपनी से रीड करेंगे तो और अच्छी तरीके से आपके दिमाग में आएगा। आज इस सेशन को यहीं समाप्त करते हैं। नेक्स्ट सेशन में इससे आगे नेक्स्ट चैप्टर का एमसीक्यूज करेंगे। थैंक यू।